Hi, everybody. It's finally the last bit of the list. We're doing the top nine movies on my top 100 movies. Um, I'm obviously not going to spend any amount of time trying to convince you that these movies are worth watching. Obviously, if they're my top nine, they come extremely highly recommended. Again, I will just kind of leave it at, the name, the year, and then directors, cast, that kind of thing. But again, these are all movies that if I don't watch them every once in a while, it starts to hurt inside. So I watch these movies a whole lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right on in. So number nine on my list is The Fifth Element. So The Fifth Element came out in 1997. This was directed by Luc Besson. So it has Bruce Willis and Milla Jovovich play the two main leads, but we have such a stacked cast. It has Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker. A special shout out to Inva Mula, who is the woman who does the actual singing that you see the diva do during the film. And FYI, for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, and that insane, incredible aria or whatever it is actually sung by a human voice. Again, Inva Mula is her name. The only thing is that they did have to digitally kind of shorten the gap between each of the notes because it's just not humanly possible for someone to actually do that with their voice. But there are no digitally created sounds. She did it all with her voice. Anyway, Jean-Paul Gaultier did all the costume designs, which if you've seen the movie, yeah, that's pretty, it's a pretty big deal. Okay, so let's move on. Fifth Element, number 8 is The Wedding Singer from 1998. This is the first movie that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore did together. It is so fun to watch because of the 80s nostalgia kind of aspect to it, but the love story is just beautiful. The little songs in it are all sweet or cute or funny, but of course, the main centerpiece love story in it, love song in it is always going to break my heart every single time that I hear it and see it and watch the scene. Big shout out to Alexis Arquette. This is probably her most delightful performance. There's also a really cute scene with, hold on, her name escapes me, Ellen Dow. She has a really cute little side story in it, but then she does this really funny little, not really post-credit scene, but at the end, she does a little kind of song that she drops. It's really cute. Anyway, really love this one. Oh, of course, Christine Taylor. Let's not forget Christine Taylor. She's also wonderful in it. Okay, so moving on to number 7, which is The Fountain from 2006. So here again, we have a repeat director, Darren Aronofsky, and then again, he did the directing. Clint Mansell did the score, and again, anytime they work together, it's always an absolutely incredible combination. That score by Clint Mansell is one of my favorite of all times, and this movie is obviously in my top 10. I absolutely love and adore it. The story and the performances are all incredible. Hugh Jackman, Rachel Weisz, Ellen Burstyn is also in it. She's lovely. It's just all around gorgeous and perfect, and just one of my all-time favorites. Okay, number 6 is The Princess Bride from 1987. This is a Rob Reiner film that is based on the original novel of the same name by William Goldman. The cast in this movie is a thing of just stories untold. This is crazy. Cary Elwes, Robin Wright, Christopher Guest, incredible as usual. Wallace Shawn, hilarious. Mandy Patinkin, amazing performance. Andre the Giant, so lovely, so lovable. But Billy Crystal and Carol Kane's scene it can go down in history as one of the funniest things that's just ever been put to film. And then, let me see, am I forgetting anybody? Of course, Chris Sarandon is also wonderful in it. So this movie is just incredible. I again, just like everything else on the list, have to watch it pretty frequently, otherwise it just starts to hurt inside because it's so wonderful. Okay, so number 5 is Death Becomes Her, 1992. So this is another repeat director. This is Robert Zemeckis, starring Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, all incredible in it. Isabella Rossellini is in it, and it is a powerful performance, as usual, of course, from Elizabeth Rossellini. Isabella Rossellini, I'm sorry. And of course, this one, for the time that it came out, had these really sort of like cutting edge visual effects, which is sort of par for the course for Robert Zemeckis. But man, that movie holds up in terms of the writing. It's so funny. The performances are all, of course, incredible. I absolutely love and adore this movie. And then, of course, the moral of the story is will always be, I think, pertinent and poignant, and I love it. Okay. Moving on to number 4, which is 28 Days Later, the original 2002 Danny Boyle version of the 28 Later franchise now. But this original one has Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, Brendan Gleeson is so delightful in it. It draws a lot from, different kinds of like zombie media out there, but it's just a lovely kind of hodgepodge of story, homage, and of course all the performances are lovely. I really enjoy watching this one. I have to admit, I actually haven't seen any of the other ones in this particular franchise because I'm perfectly happy with this one. I don't feel like I need to add to it or alter where it lives in my brain. So I'm perfectly happy having only seen 28 Days Later. Okay, number 3 is Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. This is from 2005, another repeat director, Wes Anderson. So of course, like all the other Wes Anderson movies, both on my list and just in his repertoire in general, the story, the music, the cinematography, the casting, the performances are all just top-notch, top tier. This one in particular really has Bill Murray at the forefront, and man, he absolutely kills it. Angelica Houston, as always, is perfection. Willem Dafoe is in it. He's hilarious and delightful. Owen Wilson's also one of the major players in this one. I wouldn't say that he's my favorite part of the movie, but he's a pretty major part in the movie. Big shout out to Sue George, who is both an actor in the film as well as provides the musical adaptations of David Bowie songs into Portuguese. So all wonderful. Okay, let's move on. Number 2 is Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. This is from 2008, Joss Whedon. It is maybe cheating in that it is not technically speaking a feature-length film that was officially released in theaters. This actually, very much like the name kind of suggests, was released online in a couple of segments, like in thirds. But put all together, it is an incredible piece of writing. It's cinematic, it's operatic. The whole thing is a musical, which Neil Patrick Harris, hello, with the singing, it's beautiful. I love this soundtrack. I love all the music in it. Nathan Fillion is, of course, incredible in it, but also he gets to sing, which is a special treat for me. And then Felicia Day is the female lead, and she has also an incredible voice and wonderful comedic timing. And I just love and adore this movie. So if you'll allow me that little cheat in that it's not technically a feature-length film, it is clearly one of my most favorite movies of all time. So there you go. Okay, moving on. Number 1. For those of you who know me really well, might be able to get to this point because it has not up to this point shown up on my list. And for those of you that do not know me, this is a perfect example because it is my number 1 of my need to have my comedy be a little oddball, a little screwy, a little kitschy. But I need my performances to be really top tier, on point, good writing, casting is incredible. So without further ado, number 1 is 1985's Clue, which I only have in VHS. All right, so listen, if you've never heard of it, this is in fact based on the board game Clue. We have, all the characters from the board game, Miss Peacock, Colonel Mustard, all that. This cast is incredible. And again, everybody is just top tier, hilarious. And the writing is so crisp and funny. Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd, Madeline Kahn, Leslie Ann Warren, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, Eileen Brennan. It's just delightful from end to end. And then for those of you that don't know, it's obviously a mystery because it's based on the game Clue. There are multiple versions of the actual answer to whodunit. All of the potential options do come in the release of the film, but when it was originally released in theaters, they didn't do that. They had kind of snipped them together so that you could randomly go to a showing and only be shown one of multiple possible options. So it's possible that like two separate people went to go watch this movie on different days and saw different endings to the movie. So I think that's hilarious. It was not well received at the time, but nowadays, if you just watch the movie, all of the possible endings were stitched together and all are included in the film when you watch it now. Okay, so that's it. We are finally done. Those are my top 100 personal top 100 movies of all time. I do think I'm probably going to put out at least one more video regarding this list where I just kind of go over like a little tally of like the superlatives in the list, excuse me. But basically we're done. I had a lot of fun. Like I mentioned way back at the beginning of this has been a really big process for me. I do feel that I grew a little, so I appreciate that those of you that came along this journey with me were with me throughout the journey and kind of put up with me, on this little self-discovery. And like I said, I will at least do one more video where I kind of talk about some of the summary points of the list. And if possible, if he's available and willing, I might also at some point bring on my brother so that we can compare a list, because I was told that he might have also been working on this list for himself. So we'll see. I don't know how soon that might happen because I'm also not sure where he might be in the process. But again, I'm so grateful for the chance to have done this. And for those of you that were watching along with me, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day and just be safe out there. Bye, guys.